beautiful, wonderful people, welcome back to my channel. Today I want to talk to you about something that is really important and quite prevalent in my practice, which is devotion to la Santa Muerte, or the Holy Death, for those of you who do not speak Spanish. Now, I really wanted to make this video, well, something like this. I really wanted to get into the topic of speaking about la Santa Muerte for quite a long time, and today is finally the day. I'm so excited, I hope you're too. Anyways, I titled this video something in lines of things you need to know before you start your devotion to la Santa Muerte. However, before you click away, if you are not really interested in starting devotion to this beautiful spirit, I still invite you to stay and give this video a watch, because you might learn something, you might hear from an actual Santa Muerte devotee, and you might, you know, just like open your mind a little bit. You know what I mean, like you might learn a little something, basically, because I want to talk to you not only to the new Santa Muerte devotees or people interested in that. However, I also want to kind of like bring awareness a little bit about what it's like to be a devotee of la Santa Muerte and what it kind of contains, for the lack of the better term. Yeah, anyways, with that being said, make yourself comfortable, grab yourself something delicious to drink. I, as always, well, not as always, but I have a cup of tea in my favorite mug. You know by now, it's from Killstar, not sponsored at all. I just love this mug because it says never trust the living, and that's just the motto of my life, okay? Anyways, so grab yourself something delicious to drink and make yourself comfortable. Have I said that? Probably. Anyway, without further ado, let's get into the video, okay? Alrighty, so I'm just going to give you a few points, like 3 to 4 points of something that I consider really important, because we are just gonna ease into this, okay? We're just gonna ease into it. I do not want to overwhelm you, not in this video anyway, with like too much information or too much opinions and stuff, okay? I'm most probably gonna speak about la Santa Muerte on the channel again, hopefully. So just saying, okay? So okay, let's just begin, because I'm just gonna start rumbling and not a point. So the very first thing I want to talk to you about is the responsibility of being a Santa Muerte devotee. So what do I mean by that? Before you decide that you want to be a devotee of la Santa Muerte, you need to know that you need to be really responsible with that. You need to be really mature, and you really need to know self-control. And why am I saying that? So la Santa Muerte is a spirit that is very known for being extremely neutral. Now, that in and of itself is an entire topic which I will not really get into right now, because we would be here like all evening and we do not want that. However, what is important for me to tell you is that with her being so neutral, it means that she can, like, if you work with her magically, she will assist you in your working, you know what I mean? She's like, unlike other spirits or deities, from what I have read or heard from other practitioners, there are certain deities or spirits who might not exactly help you out with some stuff, because for example, I don't know, they don't think that's like good for you or blah blah blah. What I'm trying to say is that la Santa Muerte will help you out, and that's not to say that she doesn't care about you, because she does. She is actually very motherly, but again, that's another rabbit hole. However, what I'm trying to get at is that she will help you, and there might be consequences, you know, like for example, let's talk baneful magic real quick. There are people who get into witchcraft in general, or sadly there are people who get into devotion of la Santa Muerte thinking they can just go into baneful magic right off the bat, and if they start working with a spirit like la Santa Muerte, they might actually do some harm that is completely unnecessary. Like, I know baneful magic is a complicated topic, and what am I doing getting into that right here, right now, right? But, you know, like, there are moments and reasonings, right? Like, you need to really know your shit, and you really need to be responsible with what you do magically in general, but especially with la Santa Muerte, because she's really quick in acting, right? And I think it's incredibly irresponsible for people to just go to her and ask her for, you know, assistance in like super petty situations and things. And I'm sorry, but I have to tell you that you need to be really, really mature and really self-aware in order to work with a spirit like that, okay? Because it's not a play thing, it's not a joke, it's not a, you know what I'm trying to say? Like, Santa Muerte is a serious spirit, okay? And you need to treat her with respect, and you need to know when it is wise to work with her and what it is wise to work with her for, okay? So that's something I really, really wanted to put out there. Also because I filmed a few reels over on Instagram, and I think I posted them here on YouTube as well as shorts. They were like for fun, right? Like saying like, I'm not avoiding conflict because I'm scared of you, but I'm Santa Muerte devotee, and like I'm avoiding sending her after you. It was a joke, clearly, because I have actually never sent La Santa Muerte after anyone. Okay, and yes, I have been pissed a lot of times, and I have been hurt, and I have been wronged, etc. Before you tell me like, yeah, your life is fantastic. Like, yeah, sure, I love my life, you should love your life too, okay, the positivity and all. But I have been wrong, okay, I'm just a human like you are. I interact with other humans who are shitty sometimes, so... But it is my responsibility as a devotee to the spirit to not just, you know, just go crazy with her and be like, okay, you know what, you lied to me, or you cheated on me, or you betrayed me, so like doing magic with her, no, let's not do that, okay, let's not do that. This is also to say to people who are maybe unaware of what Santa Muerte devotees like do and whether they do this. We do not do that. Not all of us do that. I can't speak for all the devotees, but I am here to give like a little piece of sand to the world, saying that this is not normal. This is not like normal reality, and normally Santa Muerte devotees, it's not the default. That's what I'm trying to say, okay? I do not do that, and I really want to tell any possibly new devotee to also consider not reacting like that, not doing that, you know. Let's be nice human beings, okay. So there is that, right? And speaking about that, I think I forgot to tell you that I have been a devotee to La Santa Muerte for, I'm not sure if like 4 to 5 years, something like that. So just so you can make yourself an idea how long have I been practicing and worshipping her. And this kind of brings me to another point that I want to touch on. Just let me take a sip of my tea real quick. This kind of brings me to another point that I want to touch on, which is the practice part versus the worship part. If you are considering, you know, getting into this practice, getting into devotion La Santa Muerte, I need you to know that you do not need to practice witchcraft with her. And that might sound a little bit conflicting to you, maybe, if you are a magical practitioner who is, you know, interested in La Santa Muerte. However, why am I telling you this? Because I have spent the first years of my devotion to her simply worshipping her. Like, I had an altar for her, I was doing devotionals, I was doing offerings, I was sometimes praying to her. Prayers are something that I included just like kind of recently, so yeah, I wasn't doing that by the beginning of the practice. However, I was not, you know, inviting her into my magic, because I was a practicing witch before I got to devotion to Santa Muerte, and after she came into my life, which again, a topic for another video, how that happened, but I did not feel like I needed to ask her for her assistance in things. Mostly because, well, she's the spirit of death. Like, you do not ask spirit of death to just assist you in like manifesting a little money, right? So, you know what I mean? That was just an example. What I'm saying is that you do not need to feel the pressure to start practicing an actual magic with her. You can literally show her respect and try to build a relationship with her, which is something, by the way, that you should do with any deity, by the way. But yeah, especially with La Santa Muerte, like, you don't have to work magic right off the bat, and I wouldn't even recommend it if you ask me. So just something for you to know again. It's completely up to you. By the way, there are people who actually never work magic with her. There are people who simply worship her, who pray to her, but who never really, you know, do rituals and actual active spell work. And that's completely fine as well. You do not need to include her in your workings like that. Okay, I think that would be like the point number 1, even though there were 2 points in one, kind of. But you know me, I'm a little bit chaotic. Okay, the point number 2 is be ready to be really misunderstood and really judged in some moments, okay? There is a whole topic about the Santa Muerte misconceptions, and I think there are a lot of myths and misconceptions to be debunked, and I'm going to do that. Just be sure of that. That's the video that's certainly coming. However, I want to tell you, before you start practicing, before you start considering yourself a devotee, before being a devotee, you need to be ready to be misunderstood, and you need to be ready to probably be in the closet, at least with some people, because since there are so many things, so many bad things, let me generalize it like that, since there are so many bad things related and linked to La Santa Muerte, you might not feel comfortable saying to people that you are a devotee. It happened to me, like for example, here on my channel or on my social media, I have no problem telling people that I'm a devotee, because it's a magical world. There are like practitioners mostly following me, and yeah, they tend to be more normal about it. However, when it comes to my like personal, normal, mundane life, there are people who do know about my devotion. There are people who know about it but choose to never say anything. They just like give me looks like, oh yeah, the death, okay. But there are also people who straight up reacted like crazy. You can imagine the typical, like, you are going to hell for it, you are putting yourself in danger, you are delusional. I mean, you name it. You are probably at least a little bit familiar with that if you have been like in the witchcraft world a little bit. Yeah, just be ready for that, and also be ready to be misjudged because of the certain group of people in Mexico, you know, devoting themselves to La Santa Muerte. I will not really go into there, as I mentioned in this video. Basically, what I want to say with this point is you need to be mentally ready that this is gonna happen to you. People are going to be super bitchy. It's gonna happen. That's a fact. And you're not always gonna be in the mood to debunk things and explain her to people. I sometimes do, I sometimes try, and sometimes I'm just like, you know what, just have your opinions, that's fine. If you want to think that I'm like a criminal or something, I mean, whatever, who are you? I mean, I do not need to be explaining myself to every single person I come to contact with, but it can be annoying, so just be ready for it. You need to like toughen up a little bit. It is what it is. I am sorry. And the third part, or fourth is it now? I don't know. And the last thing I want to touch in this video, to not make it too long, is that you really need to be ready to be disciplined. If you get into devotion of La Santa Muerte, you know, again, this is pretty much the same with any deity or spirit you might want to work with. If you promise something to a deity or to a spirit and then you do not deliver, there are consequences, right? And when it comes to a Santa Muerte, I would not try her in that regard. Like, if I promise something to her, especially if I ask her of something and I tell her that, okay, like, if you help me out with this, I'm going to, for example, quit this bad habit. I do not want to try her, you know, and you wouldn't want to try her either, because after all, even though I do not want to be like fear-mongering anyone, quite the contrary. As I mentioned, she is very motherly in my experience. Her energy is very loving. Like, you have no idea how many times I have felt like shit and I went to my altar and she picked me up. She literally picked me up. Like, I can't even describe it in different way. However, yeah, she's still a spirit of death. She is death, okay? So do not play with her, you know what I mean? And just, you need to be ready to keep your promises, and if you are not able to keep your promises, do not make promises to her, okay? This again goes for any deity, but I feel the responsibility to tell you that it is important. You shouldn't be just like saying things you're gonna do, then not doing them, and then being like, oh hey, what do I do if I promise this to La Santa Muerte, I didn't do it. I mean, yeah, there are things that can be done, of course, but try to prevent it, okay? Try to prevent it. So yeah, certainly discipline. So these are the things I wanted to tell you. This is, I think, the most basic things you need to know before you start your devotion, before you, if you're considering that. So responsibility and like maturity, if you will, being ready to be super misunderstood and super criticized, all the jazz, like that's gonna be, that's gonna happen. That's gonna happen. I'm telling you, that's gonna happen. And lastly, you really need to be disciplined and really being true to your word and things that you promise. So yeah, that is for people who are considering starting the devotion. So let me know down below if you have any questions whatsoever regarding what I just told you or something else. Again, as I mentioned, the video about misconceptions is coming definitely, because that's huge, and I could talk about it forever actually, and I will because I need to say some things, okay? I need to say some things. But yeah, let me know your questions down below, and if you are not a Santa Muerte devotee and you still stayed and watched this, thank you so much. You're so lovely. I hope you're having a lovely day. And let me know also if you have any questions about devotion, if there is something that you wanted to know, because as I mentioned, every devotee is actually different, and I think I'm a little bit different from some people that I saw being devotees. However, I believe I'm not the only one who approaches her in this way, if you will. So yeah, I just wanted to bring a little bit more awareness about that as well. So if you stayed and watched and you have any question or anything to tell me, I'm reading you down in the comment section. I think I'm not going to take more of your time right now. I don't know for how long I've been filming actually. Maybe with my rambling it's still gonna be long, who knows. But anyway, I hope you're having a lovely, marvelous, magical and amazing day, and I'm going to finish my tea now. So if you like this video, please leave it a like, it would make me really happy. Also consider subscribing. The channel is finally starting to grow a little bit, which makes me really happy and more eager to make more videos. So like, fantastic, we make each other happy. Yeah, so stay kind, and I'm going to see you in the next video. Bye bye.